Hello and welcome to the Wisdom Clinic here at the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Clinic group. I am excited that you guys have joined us. We missed a week, but don't worry, we are back with some amazing, great information with my special co-host, international herbalist, holistic and wellness coach, Charmaine Harrison, and she's going to be sharing with us today about the three phases of health. So I am excited. I am recovering from not feeling my best. So I have taken a lot of her advice and have recovered very well because of it. So I am excited to see what Charmaine has to share with us about the three phases of health. So Charmaine, what you
Right.
got for us today, girl?
Awesome. Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so glad you feel
Um,
better. Oh my goodness. I
I
know
do
that
not
was
quite at 100, but I'm almost there.
right. Yes, definitely a journey. You actually recover a lot faster than a lot of people that suffer from it, and really don't do much to alleviate it. So that's awesome. So glad to
Thank
hear
you.
that.
Yes.
Definitely. I always like to say if you are here, it's because you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to receive this information. So make sure you get your pen and papers ready so we can go ahead and dive right in today. I'm Charmaine, international herbalist and holistic health and wellness coach. I teach people how to naturally detox their bodies using nothing but just simply nature, just things you can even find in your backyard, plants and stuff like that, in order to help save money on medical bills, in order to get out of a diet mindset and into an actual lifestyle change, and also in order to break cycles of just generational curses or cycles of sickness and illness, so you can stop saying this runs in my family. So
Mm.
that's those things are just really super important. Today I want to talk about the three phases of health. Now, within these three phases of health, um, I want to explain it like this, okay? So you have basically your illness, you have where you become symptom free, and you have where you are actually healthy. So those are like there's three different phases that we go through, and a lot of people just don't sustain results because they get to the halfway point and they kind of go backwards to illness, and so they're on a constant hamster wheel of just getting sick over and over, and they really don't know why. A lot of people just are unaware of what's going on. So that's what I'm here to help you like understand. Also, this will be good for people. They like I said, they become kind of symptom free, and again, months or years later, they have that illness, it comes back. So the first phase of health is the cleansing phase, right? So that's the definition of cleanse is intended to cleanse or cleanse through something thoroughly. So that focus is mostly external. And when a lot of people think about detoxing and stuff, they put the two and two together, detoxing and cleansing. But a cleanse is more of something like an intermittent fasting. So that would be considered more of a cleanse. Detoxing is actually a process or a period of time which one abstains from or rids the body of toxic or unhealthy substances. So that's the actual definition of detoxification. The two things I want you guys to get out of that are a process and ridding the body of. So that requires more of a lifestyle change instead of something short like intermittent fasting or something like that. Because you have people that go on fast for a few hours and then they go back to, just kind of consuming things. So that's not like a detox, that's more of a cleanse. And then the last part is the last phase of that is repairing. So that means to fix or to mend from damage. Now, I'm going to go deeper into that in a moment, but those are the three phases of health: cleansing, detoxing, and repairing in order to sustain results. Now, I made a post, Miss Nadira. What comes to your mind when you think of the word detox?
But when I think of detox, I'm thinking getting rid of anything that is toxic, that's in your body, anything that is causing inflammation, in your
Mhm.
body, anything that's causing your body to not function the way it was supposed to be. So when your body is off balance, or something's going on, it's because there's something, your body's off. So when I think of detox, I mean something's in there messing with the original function of how your body is supposed to work.
Right, exactly. So I made a post. I asked because I made a post on social media one day, and I asked people like, what comes to mind when you think of detoxing? A lot
Mhm.
of people said cleansing, using the bathroom. A few people had said, they brought environmental factors into consideration, which is awesome, because that is a part of detoxing actually, and that will be a part two probably that I'll be doing because I could talk about detoxing all day because it's more than just, the waste in your body. You have to detox environmentally,
Mm,
socially. There's so many different factors. You have to learn stress management, emotional well-being. That's why you often hear people I don't know if you ever heard someone says, oh, well, so and so lives so healthy and they still got cancer.
mm,
But yeah. So,
mhm,
I've heard people say that, oh, so and so was healthy healthy as can be, and they still got sick.
mm.
So, but you have to think maybe that person, so and so, was working a job for 40 years that they hated, which brings emotional, mental, all that different types of stress. Or maybe so and so may have been in a toxic relationship,
Right.
which brings, hoarding a lot of, again, stress in the body. And again, just because somebody is vegan or vegetarian does not make them healthy because everybody's definition of healthy is a different definition,
That's important that you say that because, I do, it's funny that you said it because I do know people that eat very healthy, but you said environmentally, that was really key because most people don't realize that even when you're trying to recover or you're trying to detox and they don't realize how important that all of that plays into. It doesn't matter um like what you do physically. I mean, it's a part of it, it's a huge part of it. But your mind, like what goes in your mind, I didn't allow any negativity. And matter of fact, I shut down when I'm in a process and my body is trying to heal. I literally shut down anything. I don't even give it the thought process because it does affect how you view what's happening to you. It affects how you, because you already got things combating at your mind already. You already got the enemy telling you things like you're gonna die. Something gonna happen. You're not gonna recover. That person recover, and they was healthy, and this person is. And so that it makes a difference who your environment too. So yeah, that's good. I like that.
Exactly. Just like when you go on Google and you type anything, you type in bump on my shoulder, oh, you got cancer. Like, and you just kind of like, oh my God, I got cancer. So that's how it goes
Now
though.
WebMD will do it to you all the time. WebMD.
Right. Right. I tell people all the time, like, Google is not a research engine. That's a search engine. That's a difference. So, definitely. But you definitely want to get to a point where you get rid of the waste, eliminating all traces of waste, toxins, parasites, all that out the body. So that's where we definitely want to get to. But like I said, the environmental, emotional, all that has to be another part because that's a whole nother hour.
That, and I
Definitely.
would love that. We should do that like one week. I would love to dig into that. Like, 'cause
Yes, definitely. That'll be part two. I can do that next week.
being a health coach, girl, that's a win-win. We are
Yes,
we need to take some time and dig into that. But okay, we'll let
definitely.
you we'll continue with today.
Definitely.
But see, I'm sorry, we got so much to share with you guys. We gotta stay
Right.
here. You gotta be a part of Wisdom Clinic to get it for free. Because other than that, you have to pay for this information. So make sure you are taking advantage of the free information and stuff that she's giving us, because I'm telling you, this is not this stuff takes time to research and put together. So
Right. Definitely. Definitely. Time and experience.
and
Definitely. So,
experience.
nice. So I want to break something down for you. So detoxing is not to be confused with cleansing or repairing. These are three different things that require three different.
We'll just wait for her to come back. She
I
froze for me.
want you to think about an example of a car, right? So when you get a car and you're excited and you got your new car and you're like, bam, with the paper tags on it and you're excited. So you want to really take care of your car. So what's the first thing you do? The first week that you got that car and you driving it around, you going to the car wash, right? So you washing the car. This is my baby. I'm washing. I'm taking care of it. So washing the car is basically considered the cleansing part. You know, you got to get the bird poop, the tree sap, the pollen up off of it. Okay. So again, that's more external. So you want you to think about it like that. When you go after you wash the car, what you go to do is you go to clean out that car. That's out of all the stuff out of it. So that's the detoxing, right? So you go in, you vacuuming, you getting trash, you getting the waste out the back seat, all that stuff that has to be removed. Okay. A lot of the time, people don't get that right, the detoxing part. They go for what they know, or they don't really educate. They're going off of what somebody told them to do. So you have to make sure you get that part right. And I'm gonna go more into that. And the third is just like changing the oil of the car, if you want to say. You know, you got to change the oil of the car. You got to repair that damage that has been done. You got to release that old oil, and you got to make sure you get some new oil in the car in order for it to run. So that's more like a repairing. Or another good example of repair is someone that smokes for 20 years, right? So they smoke for 20 years and say they go to the doctor and they get diagnosed with lung cancer. What happens is they stop smoking, or maybe they go to vaping or something like that. So they get to the point where just like, okay, well, I'm going to stop smoking. So say 2 years go by, lung damage has been done, right? They'll stop smoking, and then 2 years later say, oh, I'm still suffering from this. I'm still suffering from, you know, bronchitis or asthma or something. That's because your lungs are damaged. You never got to a point where you repaired them. You just stopped smoking and figured that's all it took. So now 2 years has gone by, but you're not even thinking about the 20 years that you've been smoking. You're just like, well, it's been 2 years. I don't understand why I'm still having breathing issues. You never went back and repaired your lungs. You know, so that's the thing about that. Most of the time, you know, people just, they don't ever think about the repairing part, or they think about a doctor. They think, oh, well, the doctor gave me medication, but they're not thinking, okay, the medication might have stopped those symptoms for a little while, but the medication is not going to repair your lungs. The medication is going to do more damage in the long run than good. You know, and that's not just to your lungs, it's going to be to other parts of your body, causing like leaky gut and things like that, depending on what medication that you're taking. So it's not to say medication is bad for you. It's fine for the moment when you have to get rid of certain symptoms, you know, that you're experiencing. But as far as long term, that's not the answer. And a lot of people don't make it through 2, and they definitely don't make it till 3. Wow. So that's why they fail to sustain those results. For sure. But, you know, most of the time we get, like I said about the car, most of the time we get to washing the car. Another example of focusing on external could be exercising, getting lipo, surgery, cool sculpting, or fitness training, you know, putting creams on our body, for example, mainly external. I know when I was suffering with lichen planus and I was able to fade my pigmentation, a lot of people were just like, what cream did you put on? What cream did you put on? I'm like, I did not use.
Look, I'm telling you, I looked at your skin. I had to look at your picture a couple times and say, wait a minute, is this a filtered picture or something? Because your skin I had to like look at your picture up close and was like, her skin looks like renewed. Talk about repair. Your skin looked repaired. Like, I was like, this girl look like she just took the eraser and just.
You're right. And that's what a lot of people, they just think, you know, they're just like, what creams did you use? What lightening treatment? I'm like, I didn't deal with no doctors, okay? I did this all naturally. None at all. I did it all naturally. But you cannot focus on the external. You know, a lot of people, they focused on the external so bad. And I did too. You know, when I was first diagnosed, I went to the doctor. I said, well, what are creams at? What are pills at to get rid of this? This got to go today.
Now. It's like, you don't want to now. Give me a cream, you can just rub it away.
Right. Yeah. And that definitely wasn't it. So when we think of cleansing, you know, that's a lot of people just think external, which is, you know, like I said, the fasting and things like that, the quick fixes. You know, I know, for example, fitness trainers right now, celebrity fitness trainers who've on social media, I'm not gonna say no names, but you would think she had it all together. You know, she is fit. You know, celebrity fitness. She got the muscles. She got the long hair. She got the six pack. Everything toned. She be
Wow.
right on social media complaining about menstrual cramps all the time. Oh, my menstrual cramp. Oh, my this. Oh, my menstrual cramp. And I'm just like, you would think external, like she had it all together though, just by how she looked. She's just a celebrity fitness trainer. She's on it, you know. But that's because it was something that's something internal going on with her body. That's something internal, and I know for a fact because I've had terrible menstrual cramps my whole life, but then I don't have them anymore. So. I don't have them. It took me like 30 years to figure out, but I figured it out. But yes, definitely. So you know, it's so important not to glamorize the external. You know.
Wow.
Definitely. But you know, you also get to a point when you begin suffering from illnesses or you know gaining weight, things like that, and that's when most people start to transition more to the internal phase. Or you know, not realizing that you're sick because of the damage that has already been done to the cells that are attacked in your body. You know, your organs are tainted. You just may not feel the full effect of it as of yet. You know, stuff like that. So, I know for me, like when I was diagnosed, so when people are diagnosed with autoimmune conditions, they are told that they have an what's it called, an overactive immune system. That's what the doctors tell them. Your cells are attacking itself. You're told not to take things such as like elderberry syrup and things like that because of the immune system. In my experience and my knowledge and my results, I've learned that working with herbs, the reason your immune system becomes overactive is from those toxins and waste and parasites and mucus and phlegm and acid in the body, and the fact that your organs are simply not functioning as they should. The immune system becomes overactive due to sensitivity from different, you know, environmental factors such as allergies. When people suffer from allergies, you know, it's said that the body can't tell the difference between your normal cells and invaders. And why is that though? Again, it goes back to all the waste in the body. And I know some people are like, well, you know, you have kids that are born with overactive you know, immune systems, and that's true, but it's still, you know, through even genes, like you get to a point where your immune system is overactive, but it's still from the toxins, the waste, the mucus, the phlegm, acid, and things like that in the body. So, you know, I also, you know, let people know one of the biggest mistakes they make when they're detoxing, prematurely taking things that are trending. Again, just buying stuff, buying capsules, buying teas, you know, just buying stuff. Like, you know, you'll see somebody post, you know, oh, what is sea moss at? It's like, okay, but there's other factors that go in there. Just, you know, and I always use an example because
I'm a huge sea moss fan after listening to, you know, Dr. Sebi and sea moss, and I'm huge when it comes to sea moss. So, but you know, but even I heard Dr. Sebi say that we don't really know how to really use sea moss the way it should be. So I'm trying to hear your thoughts about how to use that after you know, if you can integrate that into your thing, because that is a huge trend. You know, people are using sea moss because it does have some really great benefits So
yeah, but definitely, you know, and I tell you, can't just buy sea moss and go eat some chicken wings later. So, man, you can't do that. Like I see it so often. Like, oh, I'm gonna use this sea moss, but I'm yeah, okay. Like, but you's gonna go smoke a black and mild later. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, there has to be accountability, and that's the great part where you come in with what you do is holding people accountable. I think above all things that when it comes to coaches and gurus that teach or talk about a particular thing, is the missing part is the accountability, is having somebody, but you have to be first accountable to you. You have to want it bad. You have to want the change.
Right. Yes, I can give you the information. I can't make you apply it.
Right.
You know, so definitely. But you know, you just really have to know what's going on in your body. You have to know what you're putting in your body and how it's going to affect your body. There has to be a plan. And like you said, accountability. A lot of people don't have that plan or accountability, you know, taking whatever it is that you're taking. So you go into a mindset that, what you're buying is like medication. That's what a lot of people do. They go into a mindset where what they're buying is like, medication. You take it, and then you continue on what you're doing in life. And that's definitely not how it goes. A lot of people be like, well, my detox work because I use the bathroom extra few times a day. Well, good for you, but you're starting to push waste out of your colon, but nothing else is really, going on, so that's not even the answer. I let people know that all the time. I'm just like, please, you got to detox right. You have to detox right. The mistake number 2 that people are making when they're detoxing, they're not detoxing correctly. And then the second thing, they're not detoxing long enough. From my experience, knowledge, and results that I have gotten, detoxing for a few days is not effective. It's not truly effective. No.
Wow. So what do you think what is a reasonable amount of, first of all, I want to know why. Why isn't 3 days enough for the person who might be listening and saying, well, wait a minute, I don't know if I could detox longer than 3 days. Why is it not enough? And and then the second question is, what is a good way? What is a good time to detox?
So the thing about detox is because your body doesn't get sick within a 5 to 7 day rate. Your cells are already attacked in your body. So damage has already been done in your body for however long, weeks, months, especially if you are dealing with a chronic illness. Okay. So for example, me, coming from a Caribbean background and my father being a doctor, my father being from Louisiana, we ate a lot of spices growing up. I had heartburn by the time I was 7. Chronic heartburn, real bad. Like,
I know that all too well. My late husband was from Louisiana.
Yes. So yes, exactly. So it's like you have all this stuff, and then you become an adult and you are a young teenager. You go through what you're going through. You start smoking, drinking, or whatever the case may be. You start picking up little habits of coffee drinking. If you don't smoke and drink, maybe coffee drinking, things like that. You start picking up habits your whole life. Now, damage is being done to your body little by little, whether you realize it or not. So this is years of damage that's being done to your body. So simply detoxing for 2 to 3 days is not going to fix the issue. It might get you to a point where you're symptom free, but it's not going to fix the issue to get you to health, which is the goal, to be healthy, live a healthier lifestyle, So that's what happens. A lot of people just don't realize internally you've been suffering, prior to developing that sickness. So that's why simply detoxing for 2 or 3 days is not the answer. And then on top of that, remember the repairing part. I'm going to talk about that, the repairing portion, when damage has been done to you internally. So, it's like the smoking. You smoke for 20 years, you develop lung cancer, you go 2 years without smoking, and you like, well, I'm still having breathing issues. What's the problem? So that's the mindset a lot of people have, and that's why they don't sustain results, and that's why they find themselves constantly having to detox over and over and over. I know people that detox. They say they detox every month, and I'm like, what? I'm like, why would you do that?
I've heard that I've heard the other myth I've heard is you need to detox at least once a month for 3 days out of the month. Somebody had told me that you have to they said you have to liquefy you needed to be on all liquids for at least 3 days out of the month.
That's a form of cleansing, though. That's definitely a form of cleansing. That's not a detox, because remember, detox is a process. It's more like a longevity. So that's another thing about that. But that's where a lot of people have challenges at. They go in with the mindset that all they have to do also is eat something for 30 days. I'll eat fruit, vegetable for 30 days, even 60 days, sometimes even 90 days, and they're good to go. And it's like, no, that's a no-go. That is definitely a no-go. Because simply you have to remember the cleansing, the detoxing, and the repairing all play a role, together. And number 3, did I answer your questions though?
I was listening to you when you were saying no vegetables, just not just eating vegetables, because I'm thinking about all types of questions and thought patterns that people would probably be thinking about. So I'm asking all the questions for you guys. You guys can still ask questions in the comments, but I'm thinking for you guys, and so I'm thinking of things to ask her while she's here. You said something about not eating just vegetables 30, 60, or 90 days. Why is there something wrong with like eating just plain vegetables, or is it just not enough in and of itself?
Yeah, so basically that's what I'm about to go into, the repairing portion. So that's the thing about it. Like, it's not going to repair much. That's the thing about it. It's not going to do the repairing. So a lot of people, when they think about repairing, they take that into pharmaceutical medication. It's for repairing. Because you hear a lot of people say, oh, I take this, I take that because, it helps with this, that, and the third, not realizing like over long term, that's not going to help you. It's going to keep contributing to your illness, because of the simple fact that pharmaceutical medicines contain toxins and chemicals and synthetics and all types of different things. That's why they have 100 side effects on the side of the bottle, on that long piece of paper that you get. That's why. Pharmaceutical medicine is not for repairing. That's why I utilize herbs. Like, again, not saying it doesn't serve its purpose. However, it's more of a quick fix and not a long-term result. So that's the thing about that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But and then also another thing is, a lot of people believe, just simply, changing of the diet will repair everything. And again, that's not true, because like repairing and detoxing, those are two different things in cleansing. So again, thinking about the smoking, because that's a easy example to give out, the smoking. So you wean off of smoking. You may go back and forth, for a couple of weeks or maybe a few months or even years at a time. You start off from smoking like a pack or two a week. You start having issues, you go see the doctor, you get diagnosed. Then you have like a minor awakening. Some people have that awakening. They're like, okay, let me chill out. So that leads them to taking medication.
That one day where you be like, I ain't gonna eat no junk food no more. I'm gonna just eat all day.
Right. Exactly. So they go to taking medications, and then they're like smoking less. They get to smoking less, or some people turn to vaping. You have people that turn to vaping, or you have people that stop cold turkey. And they have this mindset like, oh, I'm good to go. Again, that damage has been done to your lungs, that you caused. So your lungs are not functioning properly, which can lead to breathing issues. Now you're confused again, because you're like, well, what's going on? You end up believing that because, the doctors may tell you the damage is already done. You have doctors that tell you the damage has already been done. And that's where a lot of people get hopeless. They're like, well, if the doctor said the damage has been done, then there ain't nothing I can do about it. I've literally known people like that with this skin condition. They're like, I'm fine where I'm at. They've just accepted it. Yeah, they believe, but I know that's not true. You've told yourself that you have accepted it, but you wouldn't be, speaking to me if that was the case. You're looking for something. You're trying to convince yourself that you're okay, but it's okay not to be, okay. I have results. I have solutions.
And I think some people don't want to go through the process. They want. We live in a society where we want everything to happen now, quickly, because there's so much. Quickly is what's been marketed.
Right.
You don't have to wait. So now, when you tell people that they have to go through a process to get through from A to B, they think about, oh my gosh, I can't get it right now. So it's like, no, they don't have the endurance to really wait out the process and go through the process. They don't want to allow their body to suffer, and while you go through the repairing process, because I want this, my body's craving it. And your body goes through withdrawals when you are going through processes and you're trying to totally shift, repair, or detox your body is fighting with you. It's fighting a real human being. And so people are not, they don't, and which is why I highly am so supportive with you with the coaching part of it, because you need somebody to talk you through, those moments when your body is out to attack you and be like, I remember the first time I went on a detox, this was like years ago. I had went on, I had a roommate of mine, and we were living together, and she was really into health and everything like that. And she had me do like this pineapple detox for like 2 days straight. I had to do nothing but drink pineapple and apple juice for like 2 days. I was gonna die. I was like, and we would get up and she would make me breakfast, and then she had like my diet out for me, like We had to work out in the morning, and though I have to say my body was looking amazing, but I was starving when it got to the second day. I almost I think I like missed it by like 2 hours because I was like, I can't do it. I'm about to I can't. My body was literally up in a fight with me.
Right.
Detoxing, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this thing, your body does not want to submit. Your body will do whatever your mind trains it to do. And my mind was telling it, we can't do this. So yeah,
Right. And that's another example of what I call a quick fix, those 48 hours, 72 hours, because your body is going to go into shock. And in my course, I talk you through a process. I talk you through the process of what to expect. And we first work on that mindset shift when you come into the program, because it does start there. So we're able to, I tell you to identify some habits. We talk through it. We make a plan, things like that. And then you go into that shift. And you're not starving yourself in the process. We were consuming, but it is, like you said, it's a process. Your body does go into shock. And another thing about that is, in my program, since your body does go into shock when you're or detox crisis symptoms, when your body starts to do that, like, for example, if you eliminate, say, for example, you go through the cleanse and you do something like eliminate meat, right? So what you're going to do is, what I teach you to do is basically you're going to consume. I'm going to give you an alternative to consume. So your body does not go into that. You're going to experience detox symptoms, but it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, like it's not going to shock the body so much to the point where you're just kind of like, oh, I'm done for, because you're just going to be replacing the little things little by little. That's where the herbs come in at too. Because while your body goes through such a shock, because first of all, if your organs are not functioning the way they're supposed to be functioning, you have to utilize certain herbs and things like that. So when your body starts to grab and look for, where is this at? But I'm used to you doing this, but I'm used to this, but I'm used to that. Your body can grab onto those herbs, and it's kind of like, okay, so you're still gonna go through symptoms, but just not as bad. And I teach all that. I break all that down in the course. And when you work with me for a while, I supply you with all those things. So definitely. But I understand what you're talking about, definitely. And in order to get, results, you have to do a combination of things. You have to focus on that lifestyle change, which is another thing that I teach you in the course. You have to start off with being transparent with yourself, and you have to be honest with yourself. And I tell people that when they first come to me, because it's like going to the doctor or, coming to a coach like me for help. So, you come in and like, oh my God, I'm suffering from this. Help me, right? So when I come in and I'm just like, my first question, I'm just like, so what are your habits? Nobody likes that question because now they're like, what?
Yeah.
They're like, I'm suffering from this, but what have you done to contribute to what you're going through right now? And or they'll say, well, I just kind of I had a cookie yesterday. I eat a little bit of sugar. But other than that, I'm good to go. Like, no, we're gonna be transparent. So I take you through that process of self-reflection in the beginning for sure. So definitely, because like I said, people lack self-accountability, and they're looking for a quick fix. So a lot of people just unaware. So the importance is being mindful and asking yourself, what led you up to this moment? And if you do not know, trust me, I will pull it out of you, because that's the point of the course, to awaken you.
That's deep, because I believe all of us have the desire to change, to want to change. But when you think about what goes in, I don't think we really understand how much and how much stuff, when you have somebody like you that can take you through the process and digging through things that contributed to. Most people might say, oh, I already know that. I already know about all that. They just want to fix me. But you don't. It's almost like when you ever watch a TV show, what is it, the Hoarding TV show? When you watch the Hoarding TV show, and I always used to say, what does that have to do? But I realized that when they sit down and they make them go through each and every, I said, whoa, you talk about somebody who really want to be free, that's going to be the real test, because in Hoarding, they make them go through the stuff with them. And they may
Mhm.
and they get frustrated because they think, oh man, I just want to just hurry up and fix it. I just want you to just fix it. Not realizing that you can have somebody professionally come in and fix it, like come in and you can have them do all the fixing and all that, cleaning up the house or cleaning up your external house.
Mhm.
But that doesn't mean that you won't go back to it a few days or a few months later. You have to understand the thought process and the mindset that got you there.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. And that's why I work with broad-minded people, people that want that help, people that just don't know where to start through my online course. And I love it because the first week that people work with me, they have this aha moment. And they're like, Charmaine, I just never realized that. I know. Because I went through it myself. I know. So, you
Mhm.
go through that process and they just really don't realize it. A lot of
Mhm.
stuff that impacted them, they don't really realize it. So, it is a process. It takes a day by day, and it takes a lot of time. But once you get through that portion of the whole mindset, and we can continue on how to incorporate, other things in your journey and just kind of move forward from there. So that's definitely the beginning. The importance of detoxing, cleansing, and repairing. The first thing is to prevent illness. Okay. So
Mm.
that's one of the important things. The importance of detoxing, cleansing, and repairing. Number one, to prevent illness. Okay. Number two is to flush out mucus, phlegm, and acid out of the body. This is the cause of the illnesses that we are suffering from: mucus, phlegm, acid, backed up colon, things like that. Number three, to clear up your skin. So if you are suffering from acne, psoriasis, lichen planus, rashes, or anything that's in your body, that's your body's way of basically telling you that waste is not filtering through my liver and my kidneys. Okay,
Mm.
your bodily fluids are not functioning. So since the skin is like the largest part of the organs of your body, that's going on with your body, that's your body's way of telling you, hey, it's something going on. It's not flushing out the way it's supposed to be flushing out. So now it's going to reflect through your skin. So that's why I tell people it's internally. Gut health and all these things are so important. And this is why repairing is so important, because what happens is when we don't repair and our organs are not functioning the way they should be, the illness is going to come back. It
Mm.
might come back slowly, but it's going to come back if you don't implement those changes. And also number four, to cleanse out the body, to cleanse out the colon, to balance out your weight. I got to a point when I was my last year in the military where I gained like 30 pounds of just like stress weight. And once I got out, I was like,
Wow, amazing. Amazing. You guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this. Make sure if you have any questions while we're waiting for her to return, make sure you put in the comments so that we can be able to answer your questions and concerns. Are you guys enjoying this as much as I am? This is amazing. I'm telling you, this is something um that we just don't really understand the mindset that goes.
right, right. I think you went out for a second. Right.
Yeah, I know you. I was looking. I was talking. I was like, "What happened?" And I saw you freeze in moment. I was like, "Okay," but go ahead. Please continue.
Okay. Yes. So I was talking about the losing weight. It's hard to lose weight. My last year in the military, it was hard for me to lose weight. I gained 30 pounds, but
Mhm,
that came from my colon. And it happens sometimes.
mhm.
We think, oh, I'm getting older, my metabolism slowing down. And in our reality, that 20 pounds that you're trying to lose is sitting right there in your colon. So,
Wow.
that's so important. And then number five is energy. That's a big problem that a lot of people have, is simply just energy. You have
Mhm,
to stop feeding your body and you have to fuel it. If you are constantly fatigued, if you're
mhm,
eating and going to sleep, if you're eating late, you don't have a routine, those are things that affect our energy, along with
mhm.
hormone imbalance. So hormone imbalance, if you are constantly at a high and a low, that's not your personality. I
Right,
hate when people
right.
like, I do not like when people say, that's my personality. I'm just high and low. I'm hot and cold. I'm bipolar. No, you are not. You have hormone imbalance. Nine times out of
Mhm.
10. Like, I
Hmm.
went through it. I know. So constantly being
Wow.
at a high and a low, that's cortisol levels, that's estrogen, hormone, another hormone, that's vitamin D imbalance. That's those your pituitary glands up underneath here. That's your thyroids. That's melatonin. All of these things are hormones, and all of these things play a role within our health. A lot of the times our body's just simply reacting to our lifestyle. And I talk about all the time, your body's reacting to your lifestyle, okay? So definitely, that's some things I just kind of wanted to put out there. I know, like I said, it has to be a part two to all this because
Yes.
the information, it gets so deep. But those are some things I kind of just want to put out there in the open about the detox and the cleansing and the repairing. You get to a point where, like I said, it's illness, it's symptom free, and then it's actual health. What a lot of people do is they get to symptom free and they go back to what they were doing before. And they're not going to sustain results like that. You're not going to ever sustain results like that. Or you're going to get to a point, like I said, when the doctors told me, oh, you have lichen planus, I'm sorry, there's no, we can't do anything about it, there's no cure, and stuff like that. So when I came along and, my skin started clearing up and my hair fell out and the hair grew back and it's just flourishing, and I'm just like, woohoo, it took a lifestyle change. It really did. They're like, now I got doctors coming up to me. Well, how'd you do that? What'd you do? And I'm just like, but I repaired my internals. That's what I did without pharmaceutical medicines. Like I healed by nature. I used herbs. I used the lifestyle change, and all these things have to play a role together. I keep telling people there has to play a role together, because what a lot of people figure that they can pick and choose what they want to do, or they figure that the detoxing portion or the food portion, that's all that plays a role. But that's not true, because you have to think again, hormones, imbalances, all these things play a role in your body. You can't take herbs and then decide you're not not going to detox, or you can't detox and decide you're not going to take herbs or things like that, or to repair, because you're not going to sustain results.
Right. And see, I'm a skincare specialist, and I went to school for aesthetics, and we only learned the chemical aspect of everything, and not really understanding that you need both. If you take care of the internal, you get all this external stuff done all day long, but if you don't do the internal stuff, it's not going to matter. You're going to have a temporary fix. That's why you have people who they put on all this makeup and they do all this other stuff to make themselves look good externally, but when you take it off, it's like, you get to see your true self as you really are.
Right, dehydrated skin, dark bags under the eyes, low iron. I've been there.
Bags, everything. That's why when I looked at your skin, I was like, oh my God, this is just like so amazing to see somebody who's actually putting in the work beyond the physical. Because with me talking about inner beauty so much, the part of the inner beauty is doing the things that you need to do inwardly. Taking care of yourself inwardly, and because you only get one body, and you can't replace, there's some organs we are fortunate, depending on the circumstance, that we can replace. But I don't know if you watched it, but on Sisterhood Check-In, I had a friend of mine who's actually a doctor now. But when she started out, she had diabetes. She was in a coma. The girl was so sick. And she went to school for nursing. She started working on herself. She got her a new kidney. She got, then she no longer had diabetes. She started to help other people. She started talking about, diet and taking care of yourself internally. But she was blessed to have a second chance and get a new organ. So she, but guess what? Even in that, having that new organ, and it reversed a lot of the stuff that she had, she still has to do what she has to do physically, to sustain it, because, she could wind up in the same situation. Now she's an actual doctor, and she went from being in a coma for 9 months to now being a doctor, teaching other people how to do it. And then I look at you, somebody who has spots all over your body, and then just to not even have a doctor to have doctors come to you and say, what did you do? Is amazing. I know you probably got all kinds of dermatologists like, what in the world? Like, but you know what? The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in your lifestyle. You did a lifestyle change. You
Yes,
can't.
that's so important. Exactly. I tell people, I'm like, it's because this is the thing about a quick fix. It's not sustainable. You're gonna keep going on a hamster wheel. You're gonna keep get sick, and then you feel better, get this, and then you're gonna keep going back and forth. So you may as well just put in the work. And for all people, all the people that are just kind of like, well, I figured it out on my own. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to invest in help. It's okay, it is okay, because I have a lot of people that they're suffering and they want to wear their pride on their shoulders, and they just kind of want to be like, I'm gonna figure it out and I got it. And but then 6 months later, you're still in the same position. A year later, you're still in the same position that you are in, and you could have already, went ahead and got the help that you needed. I
That's
tell
what
people that
people
all
want
the
to do.
time, like,
Manage. They want to fix my body, fix the external part, and then I work on the internal part. No, it
right, when you're suffering for months at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. By the time you're done suffering, you could have been got the help that you needed, like that. And that's my whole thing. You just go on and suffer for what? For what?
Yeah. Is it possible for someone who battles with extreme obesity? Is it possible for them to? We know it's possible to reverse their issues in terms of how their eating habits and their lifestyle habits. But what do you say to somebody who struggles with who takes the initial step and they do the mindset and they do your program and they go through your program and they learn about what the things that got them there, and they just haven't yet been able to fix the physical aspect? What do you say to women like that?
Well, first, if you work with me, you'll be able to fix the physical aspect of what's going on.
Oh,
Because you will, I'm pretty confident about that, because when you go through the process, you have to think, like, first of all, if you're losing weight and you're working on it internally, the first thing is all the waste out of your colon is going to come out. You're going to repair your internals. So it comes from your digestive system and your lungs and your kidneys. All of that plays a role. A lot of people are obese because of their habits and things like that. Their habits, their eating habits, what they're consuming, things like that. Organs are not functioning. When you repair these things, you're going to get results. When you go through the process of the mindset and you detox and you repair, you're going to get these results, because that's your body's going to start functioning the way it's supposed to function. Like, I was diagnosed with a whole bunch of stuff. Like, when I was in the military, it was like always something. It was always something. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's PCOS. Oh, you got this arthritis. Oh, you got this. Oh, you got sinusitis. Oh, you got. It's like, okay, what else? So when I was able to get to a point of where I'm at now, and I noticed that it was a lifestyle change, and like I have, doctors told me there was no cure. They said there's no cure. There's nothing we can do about that. But if you actually go through the process of that lifestyle change, you're going to get results. I am very confident about that. As far as
definitely shows it.
yeah, you're going to get results.
You can definitely see. So for those of you that are interested in the program that Charmaine is talking about, she does have a program to help you step by step to be able to to transition your life completely. If you are battling with obesity or struggles with just different illnesses, she can help you walk through step by step on how to reverse a lot of the illnesses naturally through her website. Make sure you go to her website, www.healbynature.org, and make sure you sign up for her program. She is changing people's lives daily. And not only that, she's applying it to her own life. She's changing her own life daily. So she's not just talking it, she's walking it. I'm telling you. And she has helped me tremendously with some of the things that I've had to go through, and I've seen tremendous results if you just listen. Sometimes the problem is we just don't listen because we feel like we got it all figured out ourselves. We want to do it quickly, but we don't want to go through the results that it takes to be able to. We don't want to go through the process and what it takes to be able to get our body from one aspect to the next aspect. So make sure you guys visit her website, www.healbynature.org, and sign up and have a discovery call with her and let her help you. Let her get you. Stop sitting back. Don't let another year go by where you're saying, I wish I could have, would have, should have. You can do it if you apply yourself and if you allow her. And if you struggle in your mindset with with doing the basics, she can help you with that also. So, Charmaine, did you have any other things that you wanted to say before we end the broadcast? You've given us some
Um,
information.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, no, like I don't want to add to that. Like I said, you don't have to deal with it. Let me help you go from dealing to healing. You don't have to deal with those things that you're going through. You don't have to play like you're accepting, oh, I'm good to go, because you're really not. I did that at one point. I was telling myself, oh, I'm good with dealing with this. I'm good with that. I'm good with this. I just kind of accepted it, for what it was. But like I said, when I was diagnosed, there was no coaches out there to help me do these things. That's why I have doctors coming to me now asking me, well, what did you do? Because of the simple fact that I understand that if you catch things early, you're able to repair. A lot of people don't even realize. I didn't even realize that until I went through my journey. I'm like, what? No more sinusitis, things like you're able to repair your organs if you through herbs and a lifestyle change and things like that. You're able to get them functioning the way they need to be functioning. There's a lot of people that's skeptical out there. They're just like, well, doctors say this, doctors say that. Doctors also told me that there was nothing that they could do about my condition, that less than 2% of the world's population gets diagnosed with lichen planus. I was told that there was no cure. There was nothing you could do. My hair was falling out. I had to cut my hair because I was going bald.
Wow. That's crazy. So if you guys want to see change, you got to take the first step, and the first step is to go to her website, healbynature.org, and sign up to be able to to talk with her so that she can be able to help you on your journey. And she will get you from one result to the next. You'll get the results that a doggone fly. You'll get the results that you're looking for if you apply the things that she actually gives you. And so I just want to let you guys know, if you have any questions or comments, put it in the comments, and Charmaine and I will answer your questions as we review them. Now, if you are watching us live, you can put it in the comments, and we'll be more than likely to answer. If you are watching the replay, make sure that you hit #replay, and make sure that you actually put in your questions, and you'll be able to and she'll answer them as soon as possible. But don't forget to visit her website. If you want real change, don't blow up her phone just asking questions and don't plan on doing anything about it. If you want change, she's the one to help you get it, to bring it to pass. So thank you guys for watching us here in the Wisdom Clinic, where we are here every Tuesday, Wellness Tuesdays, where we are discussing all things health, because above all things, is the greatest wisdom you can have is, what good is it, if you have everything in the world? What profit a man if he gain the whole world and he lose his soul? What profit do if you got everything that you want physically and you don't take care of the one thing that God gave us stewardship over, and that is our bodies? You can't fulfill your purpose in life if you're not healthy enough to be here to do it. So
Exactly. Even Steve Jobs said something before we end. Steve Jobs even said something on the line of that before he passed. Like, he was talking about, his one of his regrets in life was like, yeah, I got all this money, but I didn't take the time to take care of myself and focus on what's important. And that's coming from one of the richest men in America. I'm just saying.
Wow.
So, invest early.
Yeah. And you can invest in a lot of things, but take time and invest in you. Invest in your mind, because when your body goes wherever your mind goes. So when your mind is jacked up, everything about your life gets jacked up. You look at your life, and sometimes if you want to know what's going on in your mind, look at your body. Your body will give you a visual of what's going on in your mind. So when you take time to take care of yourself, then you will start to see the effects in every area of your life. If you want sustained longevity of health in mind and body, because your spirit's already perfect. It's your body and your mind is what we have to work on. We have to work on the things, and we have to change our lifestyle. We have to change our habits so that we can, because habits are the only thing. When you change your habits, that's when you get lasting results. Anything you just do for a moment will just only bring you temporary results. Anything you take time and build, anytime you take time in changing habits, habits is what makes it, and what makes long lasting changes. Just look at people, the way they behave. Just look at people the way they behave. And you look at people when they get in trouble or something goes on, they say, "I'll do it. I'm gonna change." And then it's just a temporary thing. But when you make habitual changes to your patterns to your when you make changes to your patterns and how you live your life, it will affect every area. You will have sustaining longevity. You won't have to worry about fighting with chemical imbalance. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to worry
Exactly.
about, dealing with illnesses. We'll always have things trying to attack our body. But most importantly, the whole point is if it attacks your mind first, everything else, your body follows wherever your mind goes.
Exactly, exactly. And that's the thing. Heal stands for, in my Heal by Nature, the H stands for habits, the E stands for educate, the A stands for achieve, and the L stands for lifestyle. That's the first thing we go through, the habits that you identify so you're able to educate yourself to achieve a healthier lifestyle.
There you go. You heard it from the international herbalist, holistic and wellness coach Charmaine Harris. Make sure again you check out our website www.healbynature.org, and we will see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening.